Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
This Morning Star has revealed how he was scammed out of £19,000, leading to a low point that left him too worried to sleep. On his LBC radio program, Matthew Wright bravely opened up about the terrifying moment he realized he had been swindled on Monday. The presenter, 59, told listeners that the fraudsters impersonated courier company Evri, telling him he'd missed his laptop delivery. He believed this because the scam took place not long after Matthew had moved house, meaning he had been receiving many bits and pieces through the post. In an email, the scammers asked Matthew to pay just £2.50 for a redelivery through an unassuming link, and Matthew went ahead and entered his personal information. However, that was just the beginning of this thorough scam. Explaining he'd been in Tesco at the time of the email, the Right Stuff host explained, "I thought no more of it." Next day the laptop turned up. It wasn't delivered by Evri. Later in that day, I got a message from American Express asking if I'd clicked on a link for an Evri scam. I said yeah I had. Matthew spent the next hour on the phone with someone claiming to be from his credit card company and going through the details of the scam and discussing charges on my account. He said, this incredibly helpful man also said he was notifying my bank to let them know about it. At the end of this very long conversation, he hung up saying, "You'll probably hear from the bank next." I hung up the phone and, within about 10 seconds, it was my bank listing all these dodgy transactions on my accounts, saying I had to change all my logins, my password. I then told them what my login and password were so they could be changed. And, I still hadn't twigged. And then I hung up, and then I got another call from my bank and I said, "Oh, it's funny, I've just been talking to your colleagues." And they said, "Oh really?" Finally, Matthew realized what happened. He recalled, I hadn't been talking to their colleagues, I'd been talking to scammers. Scam American Express, Scam Bank. While Matthew's bank was able to cancel most of the transactions, one for £19,000 couldn't be retrieved. The journalist explained, American Express were absolutely amazing. My new card arrived days earlier than expected, all transactions cancelled, all the dodgy transactions cancelled, incredibly reassuring, and very polite. My bank, on the day of the fraud, when I actually spoke to them, said, "Don't worry, we'll look after you." Yesterday, I looked back and saw that every transaction that they read back to me, all but one had been stopped. One of them, for £19,000, appeared to have been allowed to go through, a standing order. Matthew added, I'd been asking my bank for the last 48 hours if and when I'm going to get my money back, and so far they're refusing to tell me, which I can tell you is doing my head in. He then bravely explained the extent to which the scam had affected him. Matthew said, "This is the second time I've fallen prey to the scammers, and once again I find myself kept awake at night worrying and fretting." He spoke out about his experience to warn others about the increasing sophistication of online scams. Matthew added that believed his vulnerability to the scam was heightened due to the excruciating unexplained pain in his neck, which requires heavy medication to subdue. In July, Matthew was rushed to hospital for a third time due to screaming grinding pain in his neck. Matthew isn't the only celebrity to be targeted by scammers recently. Last week, Denise Welch revealed on Loose Women how she was left feeling ridiculous and trusting no one after being tricked on the phone.